Welcome, filmmakers and photographers, to the most anticipated upgrade in the APS-C mirrorless world. We're talking about a camera that, quite frankly, doesn't exist yet. But the whispers are getting louder, the patents are being filed, and the demands of the market are undeniable. We're talking about the Fujifilm X-T30 III. For years, the X-T series has been the sweet spot. It's the camera that proves you don't need a bulky full-frame sensor or a five-figure bank account to capture images that stop time. The X-T30 II was a spectacular piece of kit, a compact, rangefinder-style powerhouse. But technology moves fast, and the time for a real, generational leap is now. Imagine, for a moment, the perfect compact camera. Not just one that takes great photos, but one that feels like an extension of your own eye. A camera where the frustration of missing a shot due to a sluggish processor or a feature cut is simply eliminated. That is the camera we are demanding from Fujifilm. And today, for the next 30 minutes, we're going to dive deep into what the X-T30 III must be. Not what it might be, but what it needs to be to dominate the mid-range market. If you own an X-T30, an X-T20, or are looking to finally make the switch to Fujifilm, you simply cannot afford to miss this. Let's start with the heart of the machine. The X-T30 II inherited the last generation's 26.1 megapixel X-Trans 4 sensor. It was, and still is, fantastic. But the modern Fujifilm standard has been set. The X-T30 III must feature the 40.2 megapixel X-Trans 5 HR sensor. This isn't just about megapixels. It's about resolution, flexibility, and unlocking the true potential of modern Fuji lenses. This upgrade doesn't just give you more detail. It gives you the ability to crop aggressively without fear, making your 50mm lens a virtual 75mm or 100mm, all while maintaining incredible clarity for large prints. This is the difference between a great shot and a magazine cover shot. But a great sensor is useless without the brain to power it. We expect the X Processor 5. If you've used the X-H2, the X-T5, or the X-S20, you know the difference this processor makes. It's the engine that eliminates buffering. It's the intelligence that allows for lightning-fast computational tricks. Think about the speed. 40 megapixels processed instantly. Think about the energy efficiency. The X Processor 5 is remarkably kind to battery life, which is a critical necessity in a compact body. And most importantly, think about autofocus. Fujifilm's autofocus has come light years. The X-T30 II was good, but the X Processor 5 unlocks deep learning AI autofocus. We're talking about subject detection for animals, cars, bikes, airplanes, and, yes, the most accurate human eye AF they have ever produced. This is the feature that changes the game from "I hope I nailed that" to "I know I nailed that" every single time. This combination, the 40MP sensor and the X Processor 5, is the foundational leap. Without it, the X-T30 III is a simple refresh. With it, it is a compact, mid-range beast. For a modern camera to be truly successful, it must be as capable in video as it is in stills. This is where the X-T30 II showed its age, capped at 4K 30p. The X-T30 III needs to be a video studio in a backpack. Our expectation is nothing less than 6.2K open-gate video, or at least 4K at 60 frames per second, oversampled from the 40 megapixel sensor. This is a massive jump in quality, giving you cinematic slow motion and superior resolution for punch and edits. The mid-range market demands it, and Fujifilm can deliver it. But here is the single biggest question mark, and the feature that will truly define the X-T30 III: in-body image stabilization, or IBIS. The X-T30 series has always lacked it to keep the size down. The X-S20 proved that Fujifilm can put a highly effective 5-axis IBIS system into a relatively small body. If the X-T30 III manages to incorporate this technology while maintaining its classic, svelte XT footprint, it becomes an instant classic. IBIS transforms a camera. It allows you to shoot sharp stills at impossibly low shutter speeds and delivers smooth, professional-grade handheld video without a bulky gimbal. It's not a luxury anymore. It's a necessity for any serious vlogger or run-and-gun filmmaker. And let's not forget the film simulations. The X-T5 and X-S20 brought us Reala Ace. The X-T30 III must include this. It is a stunning, high-fidelity color profile that looks like class. I see high-end negative film. Imagine capturing that 40-megapixel detail with the gorgeous, ready-to-use color science of Reala Ace. That is the Fujifilm magic perfected. The creator's toolkit demands a fully articulated screen. The X-T30's tilt-only screen was great for street photography, but terrible for vlogging. The X-T30 III needs the fully articulating vari-angle screen from the XS series. If they combine the classic dial aesthetic with the modern flexibility of a side-hinge screen, they have created a near-perfect hybrid camera. Beyond the chips and sensors, the experience of using a Fujifilm camera is what hooks people. The design is timeless. The dials are tactile. What changes do we need in the body itself? We need better weather sealing. Not just basic splash resistance, but true, robust weather resistance that gives you confidence shooting in a sudden downpour or a dusty environment. The electronic viewfinder, or EVF, needs a refresh. The X-T30's EVF was good, but we're looking for the high-resolution, high-refresh rate EVF found in the X-T5, making the transition from the real world to the digital viewfinder seamless and lag-free. But perhaps the most critical external update is the battery. The small NP W126S battery simply isn't enough for a 40MP, 60 frames per second video-capable camera. The X-T30 III must use the NP W235 battery from the X-T5 and X-S20. This vastly improved capacity translates to more than double the shots and video minutes, finally allowing creators to shoot a full day without carrying a pocket full of spares. This is a quality-of-life upgrade that instantly makes the camera feel more professional and reliable. And finally, the feature that will make or break this camera's dominance: the price. The X-T30 series is the enthusiast prosumer gateway. We expect the body-only price to land squarely in the $1,000 to $1,200 range. At that price, with a 40MP sensor, X processor 5, 4K/60p, AI autofocus, and the addition of Reala Ace, it is absolutely unbeatable. If they somehow manage to sneak IBIS in at that price point, they will sell every single one they make. The Fujifilm X-T30 III isn't just an iteration. It's the potential culmination of everything the XD line has been building toward. It is the perfect blend of retro style and cutting-edge technology, all packed into a size you'll actually want to carry every day. It's the compact camera for the professional who refuses to compromise. This is the dream. The 40-megapixel X-T30 III with AI-powered focus and cinematic video capabilities. The market is ready. The technology is available. Now, the ball is in Fujifilm's court. Are they listening to the creators who love their system? Are they ready to deliver the camera that will define the next generation of mirrorless photography? We believe they are. The X-T30 III is not just a rumor. It is an inevitability driven by demand. Keep your eyes peeled and your wallets ready, because when this camera drops, the game will change. What feature do you absolutely need to see in the X-T30 III? Let us know in the comments below. And if this vision of the perfect compact camera excited you, hit that like button and subscribe for all the latest updates on this camera and more. Thank you for watching. The X-Trans 5 HR sensor with its massive 40.2 megapixel resolution is a magnificent tool, but it is also brutally demanding. It separates the good lenses from the great ones. When you pack that many pixels onto an APS-C sensor, the performance of the glass, especially in the corners, becomes critically important. This is where Fujifilm's commitment to its X-mount truly shines. They didn't just release the X-T5 and X-H2. They simultaneously upgraded their lens lineup, specifically designating a new class of lenses as HR-ready or high-resolution ready. For the X-T30 to truly exploit its 40MP potential, users will need to know which lenses will resolve that phenomenal detail. We must assume that the X-T30 will be heavily marketed with the newest compact primes. The 23mm f/1.4 LMWR and the 33mm f/1.4 LMWR. These lenses are optically stellar and perfectly balanced on a compact body. They're the new gold standard for resolution. But what about the user coming from an older kit? This is a crucial area for Fujifilm to address. They need to clearly communicate which older favorites, like the 35mm f/$2 or the 50mm f/$2, can still deliver stunning results on the new 40MP sensor. The conversation around the X-T30 must be a conversation about accessible, high-resolution glass. It's not enough to build a Ferrari engine. You need tires that can handle the speed. Now, let's pivot to the next-gen user experience. The Fujifilm X-T series is beloved for its traditional, tactile dial-based controls. It is photography in its purest form, but modern efficiency demands more. The X-T30 needs to inherit the UI speed improvements from the X-H2S and the X-S20. We're talking about instant boot-up time. No more waiting a beat or two for the camera to wake up. That we need a significantly more customizable Q menu. The quick menu is the nerve center of rapid settings adjustments. It should allow for more granular control over focus modes, metering patterns, and film simulation bracketing, all accessible with fewer presses. This sounds minor, but in the heat of a street photography moment, speed equals success. And critically, the X-T30 must fully embrace USB-C power delivery. Not just charging while the camera is off, but true, continuous power while shooting stills or video, even demanding 4K/60p footage. This is essential for long studio sessions, streaming, or extended interviews, eliminating the constant anxiety of a dying battery. This leads us to a fascinating possibility. Computational photography. We often associate computational tricks with smartphones, but the powerful X processor 5 inside the X-T30 opens up professional-grade computational features. We expect built-in advanced algorithms. Think about focus bracketing, where the camera instantly combines a stack of images into one perfectly sharp file, all processed in camera. Think about advanced dynamic range bracketing that produces a single, high-fidelity HDR image that maintains the natural look Fujifilm users love. This processor is also the key to unlocking better low-light performance. Even at 40 megapixels, the X Processor 5, through advanced noise reduction techniques, should deliver images at high ISOs, say ISO 6400 or even $12, $800, with more detail and cleaner noise structure than the previous generation. This is computational power working for you, silently improving your images before they even hit the memory card. And speaking of memory, a note on storage. While the X-T30 is a compact camera, it will be generating enormous 40MP RAW files and high bitrate video. Fujifilm needs to ensure the single SD card slot fully supports the high-speed UHS-2 standard. Anything less would create a bottleneck, leading to frustrating buffer slowdowns that negate the power of the X Processor 5. Finally, let's look at the battlefield. The competition. The X-T30 isn't being launched into a vacuum. Its main rivals, both real and rumored, are formidable. First, the inevitable comparison to Sony. The current Sony A6700 is a fantastic competitor. It offers IBIS and an absolutely class-leading autofocus system. The X-T30 needs the 40MP sensor and the deep learning AF to neutralize Sony's resolution advantage and challenge its autofocus dominance. The X-T30's advantage must remain the superior control layout, the film simulations, and the undeniable aesthetic appeal. Second, the internal competition. The Fujifilm X-S20. The X-S20 is the Ergonomics first, content creator focus camera with IBIS. The X-T30 X-T30 III, with its traditional dials and compact size, needs to be the choice for the photographer who shoots video. It must appeal to the enthusiast who prefers the tactical feel of analog control over the deeper grip and PSAM dial of the X-S20. The X-T30 III must be the more pocketable, more aesthetically rewarding camera. Even if they share internal components, if the X-T30 III manages to incorporate IBIS, it completely disrupts the landscape. It would make the decision between the X-T30 III and the X-S20 purely about ergonomics and handling, rather than a critical feature difference. That is the ideal scenario for Fujifilm and for us, the users. The Fujifilm X-T30 III is more than just a camera. It is a statement. It's the ultimate expression of Fujifilm's philosophy, that the photographic process should be as enjoyable and tactile as the final image. The dream is clear: 40 megapixels, lightning-fast AI, cinematic video, and compact portability powered by a professional battery. This camera has the potential to be the single most exciting mid-range release of the decade. The only remaining question is when. And until then, we wait, we speculate, and we demand perfection. Thank you for staying with us for this complete deep dive into the camera that we are all waiting for. If you enjoyed this analysis, please hit that like button, share your thoughts on the most critical missing feature in the comments, and subscribe for immediate updates when the X-T30 III finally becomes reality.